All right, so here's the riff. The Hoochie Coochie Man. I'll 1976, I think, or something like that. 70s, late 70s. Muddy and the Stones playing at the Checkerboard Lounge. And this is sort of as near as I can get to that version of it, as near as I can figure. If anybody has any corrections for me, changes, just put them there in the comments and let me know that, hey, you're doing that wrong. But it's a weird little riff. It's basically a primitive blues riff. Um, the first part on the one, the part that has all the verses, the main verses. So all it is so that's the key of G, right? All right. So I'm in the key of G, your G pentatonic. Right? But you got your open strings too you can use. Particularly that open A. All right. So what I'm doing, what that riff is, I've been trying to figure out this thing for, I don't know, 10, 20 years. And I'm not totally sure if I have it right. Listening to that version of it, the Stones and Muddy playing at the checkerboard, I'm not totally sure because I think, it's like there's like four guitar players and a bass player, or three guitar players and a bass, no, four, three or four. Anyway, bass player and the bass player, and I would wager to guess that each one of them is playing it slightly differently sometimes. Maybe sometimes they're playing it exactly the same, but sometimes they're playing it a little different. So there's a lot of ways you can do this riff. And the one that I'm hearing the most in that particular version is all right. So all that is the A, open A, C on the same string, on the A string, and then the D note, same string, and then on your low E string, you got your blue note, which is your B flat in this key. That's the G. Back to the G. That's the root. It's in the key of G. And then that little riff is, I think somebody's doing it. I don't know who it is. Keith, maybe? And all these riffs weave together and they work together. So you don't have to really stress out about it. It's like, it's all in the pentatonic scale. So it's just, if one guy's going and the other guy's going, it's okay. It'll fit. So that one is just, and that's just open D string up to the F, and then the open G string, and then your blue note, your B flat, back to the G. And if you look at the way I'm hitting the strings, I'm doing that by muting everything but the note I want. So I'm only playing one note, but I'm hitting all the strings. And that's the way you get that, that raunchy Delta blues sound. But the trick is you gotta not let all the other strings sound. So you're using your thumb, wrapping your thumb on there, and you're being very careful. If you do it long enough, you won't even have to think about it. But I'm muting everything but the ones that I want, which are the notes that I just showed you. There's a lot of muting going on with blues stuff. Anyway, so that's basically the riff. See, I even screwed it up. I've been doing a lesson here. Gypsy woman told her mother, before I was born, got a boy child coming, gonna be a son of a gun. We'll get to that part in part 2. We'll go up to the 4 in part 2. In the meantime, if you're interested in this t-shirt that I made myself and wondering where you can get one, I'll put a link in the description or in the comments or something. It's a Checkerboard Lounge t-shirt that I made, and it's a tribute to that institution of the blues that Buddy Guy created way back there in the 70s. And I'll put that link to the Stones playing with Muddy in there too in the description, so you can see where I'm coming from. Bye bye. Part 2 coming soon. We're going up to the 4. I'll show you something or other. All right, check out part 2. It's coming soon.